Greetings, Japan fans. In today's show, we're going to look at engagement. Maishu, arigatou gozaimasu, and welcome back to the 9th year of the Leadership Japan series. And I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy committed to your success, president of Dale Carnegie Training Tokyo, Japan, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery. My new book in Japanese, Za Eigyo, is available on Amazon. We are broadcasting around the world from Minato-ku in the center of Tokyo, the leadership capital of Japan. This podcast brings insights, examples, and experience about leading in Japan, and trust me, it is different here. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Monday is the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesday is the Presentations Japan series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesday is the Sales Japan series. Thursday is the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Friday is the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturday is Japan's top business interviews. Before we get going, today's handy Japanese phrase is mushiatsui desu ne, which means, wow, it's really humid, isn't it? Unlikely to be anything being said in Japan at the moment because it's freezing cold here, but if you're in the southern hemisphere where it's summer, you might be saying mushiatsui desu ne. My hometown Brisbane, rather humid place, could definitely be saying mushiatsui down there, mushiatsui. Mushiatsui, it's really humid, isn't it? Woo! Man, it's a humid day today. Mushiatsui desu ne. Mushiatsui desu ne. Mushiatsui desu ne. This is episode number 452. Today we're talking about how to increase engagement. Well, this week we're going to look at getting the team members engaged. Now, this is a tricky subject in Japan because what is the native Japanese word for engagement? We always have this dilemma when we try to translate engagement into Japanese. In the end, we just leave it as engagement in the katakana script, which reproduces the sound, but which in itself has no meaning, as opposed to kanji pictographs, which have actual meanings. So, if there is no word for engagement in Japan, how on earth can you get people more engaged? Also, how do you measure it? Gallup have been running engagement surveys around the world on a regular basis for a long time, and invariably, Japan scores low by comparison with other countries. Usually around 7% of the working population are highly engaged. There's always triggers a reaction back at HQ for multinational companies who run these global surveys. I've sat in those regional heads meetings and seen the world scores parade up on screen, with APAC the lowest region and Japan the lowest country in APAC. Local leaders like me are then chastened to find ways to lift the scores. You try and explain Japan to them, but you may as well talk to a post for all the good it does you. Part of the reason for Japan's low scores is linguistic and the other part is cultural. I strongly recommend you check the translation of the survey questions. Often, the translation provided misses the nuance needed for a Japanese audience, and therefore the scores are more harsh than they need to be. Questions like, would you recommend to your family or friends to join our company, which is usually one of the key questions around the level of engagement, gets a very low score here. Japanese people do not want to take on that sense of responsibility to their employer or to their family or friends. What if their friend hates the company or the company hates their friend? They don't want to get blamed by either side. Also, culture of perfectionism here makes it hard for Japanese to give themselves high scores. Luxury brands talk about the Japan 30% factor. This means that Japanese consumers are scoring 30% lower than elsewhere when it comes to satisfaction rates with the service or product, and these luxury companies take this into consideration. Is there anything we can do then to improve the scores for engagement? Our own research on the emotional drivers of engagement have found there are 3 key elements and an important emotional trigger to getting the team engaged with their work. Find out more when we come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. Today's show is being brought to you by, on the 4th of March, we're doing the Dale Carnegie course. On the 9th of March, we're doing Winning with Relationship Selling. 12th of March, do the Dale Carnegie course again. On the 17th of March, we'll be doing high impact presentations. Our website is www.dale.carnegie.co.jp. You can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 1,000 for you there at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, as well as my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's a premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays we have Japan Business Mastery Show. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. The key elements. Number 1, satisfaction with the immediate manager. This is very obvious. And as we say, people don't quit companies, they leave bosses. The manager's job is to build strong relationships with the team. The leader sets the culture of the organization, and is it people-centered or not? If people feel they are treated equally and fairly, they will stay engaged. Number 2, belief in senior leadership. Often the leaders think they've been doing a good job in their messaging. They believe that everyone understands the vision and are all united behind it. If the communication of the why we're doing this or where we are going isn't done properly, then doubt arises as to whether the senior leaders are setting the right course or not. If the messaging is clear, then everyone feels more confident the organization will succeed and want to do their job well. Number 3, pride in the organization. Often we wonder who the real rivals are. The marketing department and the sales department seem at war with one another, and the IT department seems to be at war with everyone. We need to be focused outside and uniting together against our external competitors. Weak leaders will disparage other leaders within the organization to unite their own team around them, and so lose sight of the true rival, the external competitor in the marketplace. We need to be talking up our organization and talking up our people so that we can feel pride in where we work. The emotional trigger. Feeling valued by the boss is powerful. How do we know we are valued? Because our boss communicates that to us very clearly, that we are valued, so we are in no doubt. Once we feel that what we are doing has meaning and is appreciated, we are engaged to work hard. This opens the door to feeling confident, inspired, enthusiastic, and empowered in our work. These 3 elements and this key trigger will make a big difference in increasing the levels of engagement in your organization. By the way, all of these aspects are 100% free, so there is no excuse for not working on them. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series. If you found the program useful, then share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Take what you found valuable, immediately put into action, because idea application is what makes winners winners. Be one of them. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.